Hello, Booktube, and welcome back. I come to you today on a very overcast, cold, grey day in the UK right now. It's getting colder, folks. The poor tarantulas down here with the woolly hats on and the four pairs of gloves. Put the heating on! No! It's getting colder. It's getting certainly colder. So, on my lunch break today, I was scrolling through Booktube, as you do when you're bored, and I saw a video from a Booktube I've never seen before, and it's Sack Skiver or Skiver, either one. Sorry, bud, I don't know if I'm saying your name right. And is the title of his video is Booktube is an echo chamber, which is the point of the video, isn't it? You're supposed to, oh, I need to watch this. Um, I'll leave a link to his video down below. Go and watch it. He seems like an alright bloke, and he's got Batman behind him as well, so it can't be all that bad. And to be fair, he makes some really good points about some parts of Booktube. His principal arguments are four. He's got four principal arguments. And the first argument is that Booktube reads the same books. Okay, that might be true for the larger booktubers because engagement, and it could be because he mentions a lot of fantasy in his book, so I guess he's more fantasy based channel, and he mentions the Stormlight Archive as an example of this that everybody needs to read because he's not a fan of Stormlight Archive. Everybody needs to read the Stormlight Archive. You're kind of pressured to read and love this book. And maybe to an extent that's true for, the larger booktubers. Which unfortunately the YouTube algorithm, the big massive carnivorous plant that it is, anybody new showing up will be directed towards the larger booktubers. And for the fantasy booktubers, those books, the big release books are probably going to be all over the place. But that's not the whole of Booktube. I don't think I'm subscribed to any of the large booktubers, to be honest, and I don't watch the stuff. I'm pretty much a niche market. I'm a non-fiction guy, so I'm interested in other people. Even books I'm not interested in, I'll still watch your video if I'm interested in you as the content creator. Now, you might be able to sell the book to me if I just talk. I don't know. So I'm very much, of the less commercial books, let's say that, and side of Booktube, the non-fictions, anything really, poetry, graphic novels, really pulp fiction, debut fiction. I'll watch any of this, and again, for you more than the actual book. I can't remember the last time I saw, just a thumbnail and went, that book looks interesting. So yeah, his first point might be true to some extent when we talk for a certain aspect of Booktube, but not for the whole of Booktube. The second part is that you can't disagree on a book. I believe you said that you might feel attacked by the people who are watching your videos who are, fanatics of this series, or fear of disagreeing that you've got to nod along. You're going to get that on the internet anyway, and some of them might be kids. So whatever, man, that's just like your opinion, dude. For the sake, I think, again, that might be more prevalent in that kind of arena rather than like a non-fiction videos. Maybe other people can disagree with me. I'm not 100% sure, but nobody's ragged on my opinion of a book yet. And I've got, I mean, for instance, Stormlight Archive. I've read them. I like the first two. The third one, Oathbringer, is I could see where it was going. I was like, oh no. Fourth and fifth one, nah, nah. Fourth one is boring, and then the fifth one turned into Brandon Sanderson's version of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know, I was like, I'm not interested in this. Come on now. Another one, The Wheel Time. Wheel Time should have ended in 5 or 6 books. I mean, from is it Crown of Swords to Crossroads of Twilight, which is one of the worst fantasy books I've ever read. Awful. The majority of them are back. They can just collapse all those 5 books into one. But hey ho. So the second, you can't disagree in a book. You can. You can. You're just going to be brave. And even with negative comments, I guess that drives the engagement of your video. So hey ho or whatever. So I get what he's getting at. You know, you don't want to. You're just making videos for fun, aren't you? Well, I certainly am. I'm doing it for the business. You just don't want to have all those fanatical fans, you know, trashing you. How dare you not like it? I mean, if anybody slagged off Bill Bryson, you know, you're not going to get a warning. You're going to get a shot in the mouth. I'm kidding. I don't care. Trash any of the books I like, even the Count of Monte Cristo. You know. So yeah, I see where he's going with the second point. The third one is forget everything about the book. So I think his main point here is you're onto the next trend straight away. So you just finished this massive fantasy work, you talk about it for a day, and oh look, there's a squirrel. On to the next one. And before you can, you know, properly digest the book, you know, you kind of forgotten what's gone on about that book. Again, with the booktubers I watch, that's not the case. So it maybe it's the ones I don't watch with that. I mean, I read quite a lot, and it's okay. It's the average person. 15 books a month is quite a lot. But yeah, I do give myself a digesting period of before I start the next book, and yeah, it's a strange one, then, isn't it? I understand forgetting, you know, a good chunk of it after 10 years. You know, yeah, that's understandable, unless the book's really in your head. Like for me, it's a book I didn't even like, The Wasp Factory. I'll never forget that. Or Discworld. I love Discworld. I can talk all day about Discworld. But to read a book and then instantly forget about it the week later, that is just rushing to get content out, I think. Yeah, it's a strange one. I haven't got really anything more to say about that, rather than if you can do it, then power to you. But sometimes you might have to just sit back and digest the book as a little bit to formulate an opinion. And the last one is not reading for enjoyment but for engagement, which is, I guess, the most overarching argument on this, that, you know, people are reading to make content. Again, not for the booktube I watch. I don't know who's, you know, I can't believe I've seen another Napoleonic War booktube video. They're everywhere. But when it comes to a certain part of booktube, that is probably the case, although, you know, my experience of those booktubers are limited. So yeah, it's basically how a section of booktube are within this like hive mind, you know, is Borg, the Borgs of booktube, who read all the same, have the same opinions, and endlessly talk about the same books, which is probably true for just a certain section of booktube. But what I want to get there for, and what point I want to get across is that is not booktube. Booktube, that's just a certain section of Booktube. Of course, incredibly popular side of Booktube. Again, it's the side of Booktube which the great greedy carnivorous plant algorithm feeds everybody to. But when you're in Booktube, and especially when you make Booktube videos, you know of other sides of Booktube that talk about different things. What are not Game of Thrones or the Wheel of Time, or mind you, I don't think anybody talks about Robin Hobb's Realm of the Elderling series. I've not seen that for a while. And Hilary Mantel, I'm no idea. I can just keep on putting out books now. But I just wanted to make a quick response video to that. And he seems like a really cool dude. So go and check out his video and see what he's got to say about things. Okay, Booktube. I'll see you soon. Bye.